Oh, we back. We back. We back. We back. I apologize again about the delay. I apologize about the delay. Yo, yo, yo. It is your boy Quincy. And I'm actually at the Delta Sky Club right now shooting this episode of the Q with Quincy Avery. I'm really excited to get going with this episode. Today we have NFL super agent David Mulugheta, who represents a number of the top guys throughout the NFL. He's going to be joining us today. He's going to be joining us in about 10 minutes, so I'm really looking forward to that. He's going to start digging into, well, I'm going to ask him a bunch of questions. I'm going to actually enable y'all to call me right now so y'all can get us ready. Get me prepared. If there's any questions that you want to see me asking, I want to give you the opportunity to ask me right now, since I know y'all don't be talking when we actually get the opportunity to. So y'all can hop in, ask me whatever you got for him, whatever questions you may have, and I'll make sure I can relay them. And if not, most of you guys follow me on other socials, so you guys can shoot me a text, shoot me a DM, whatever that may look like, and let me know something you want me to ask David. Today we're also going to talk about Kyler Murray's new contract. I want to get into the numbers a little bit. Kyler Murray's contract is $230.1 million. That was done very strategically in terms of that point one at the end of that. I want to explain to you guys a little bit about what that is about. And then we want to dig into a little bit of the other numbers that are associated with Kyler Murray's deal. Guaranteed versus guarantees in terms of the contract. Just little stuff like that I'm not sure enough people know when they look at contracts, what they're seeing, what does that mean? And I want to be able to give you those details. So I'm going to give you that. But without further ado, I'm going to give you a little Jay-Z. We're going to take a little break and come back and talk about Kyler Murray's new contract. Take another break, and then we'll have David Mulligan on. Look forward to you guys having you guys. And I apologize about the delay. You know what I'm saying? Flight delays. No love in the heart of the city. What up? It's Quincy Avery. You are listening to Q with Quincy Avery. Look forward to having my friend, special guest, NFL super agent David Mulligan join us in just a moment here. But before that, without further ado, I want to start talking a little bit about Kyler Murray's contract. Kyler Murray's contract is a big deal. Just hit today. It was reported at 5 years, $230 million, 160 of which was supposed to be guaranteed. As we started digging into it a little bit more, I found out that it wasn't necessarily 160 million guaranteed, which is all good. It actually ended up being $100 million guaranteed, which means that it is $60 million short of the. It is $130 million short of the biggest ever guaranteed contract ever, which is exactly what Deshaun Watson got, which I think is still crazy to me, which averages out at $46 million. But when I talk about this deal, I want to talk about the interesting number. Kyler Murray got $46.1 million rather than $46 million. And I think that was specifically just to make him the highest paid quarterback other than Aaron Rodgers, who has a little unique deal. And no one's going to be able to beat that in terms of the cap price. He's got a $50 million deal, only 2 years, and that's because that is Aaron Rodgers, and he had the ability to threaten retirement. So now the question is, what does Lamar Jackson get? And does the NFL move towards quarterbacks getting fully guaranteed contracts? And that is really what Lamar Jackson is going to be able to dictate with how the NFL is able to move forward right at the quarterback position in terms of his contracts. The reason I say this is because Kirk Cousins was an outlier. He got his whole contract fully guaranteed when he signed his deal with the Minnesota Vikings. Deshaun Watson got his deal fully guaranteed when he signed with the Cleveland Browns. Now, what it's going to take is at least the next quarterback in this class who people view as a top-tier quarterback, and I think that Lamar Jackson viewed by everybody except those who didn't put him in the top 10 of their quarterback rankings as a top-tier NFL quarterback. And he's really going to be able to set them up, right? Like, if he's able to lock down his contract and making sure that it's fully guaranteed, I'll be very happy for him, but I'll know that the market is definitely set for the next quarterback. So now we start looking at contracts more and more throughout the league. Somebody who had to hold out for their deal I think it was 2 years ago, Dak Prescott is now underpaid at the position. And the way that it works is every quarterback is traditionally paid. When it's time for your contract, you're traditionally paid at the highest end of the contract market. So all you have to do is a really good quarterback. You don't have to be the best in order to get the best deal. You just have to be really good, and you're able to leapfrog the guy who was previously the highest paid. And that's what makes the quarterback position so unique. You guys coming up like Joe Burrow, he'll be the guy for Lamar Jackson to get his next contract. And we got like guys like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' contract is not necessarily great in terms of number-wise right now, but when he gets into his 34th year, he's going to start getting numbers that are going to be closer to $50 million a month, and that means quarterbacks are going to have to be able to do that. You can anticipate the next big deal being $1 million more than the 46.1 that we just saw Kyler Murray get. Kyler Murray has not yet won a playoff game. And he struggled at the back end of the season, but he's still able to garner this much money, which is so crazy to me. But it really makes me happy to make sure I'm working with the quarterback position. The guys are getting paid the most money. The guys have the opportunities to affect the ball clubs in the biggest way. And the next guy that I want to see what their deal looks like in this upcoming contract is going to be Kirk Cousins. He still has 2 years left on his deal. But he's somebody who went through the ability to franchise twice. And teams can do that. They can franchise you twice. They can franchise you the third time, but financially, it just does not make a ton of sense to put the franchise clause on somebody for 3 consecutive years because it would absolutely hamstring your organization in terms of the money that you had available for the cap. So that's what I wanted to talk about in terms of Kyler Murray's deal. I want to give you guys the opportunity to ask me any question that you may have in terms of Kyler Murray. If you guys are going to see something that you want to know about that. And I'll give you guys the opportunity as soon as we get back. We got one more song, and when we get back to that, we have David Mulugheta, president of Athens First, NFL Super Agent. All right. That was enough of the lane. I got David Mulugheta on with me as we do another episode of the Q. David is a good friend of mine. He is NFL Super Agent. David, you want to call yourself a Super Agent, or what do you call yourself?
Hey, I'm going to let you call it.
I'm gonna call you a super agent. I'll call you the most powerful agent in all of the NFL. I'm not saying that Forbes said it, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure I give you all the flowers. Give you all the flowers you deserve. I want to ask you a quick question before I get into some other stuff. How did you get into being an agent? Because I know there's like 4 kids who asked me about you, and they said they're gonna be listening, so you can kind of give them your story because they want to do the same things that you're doing now.
Man, honestly, I kind of fell into it. I never had any intentions on being an agent. Growing up, I never really saw agents that looked like us. It was never a career path that seemed like it was open to me. So I went to undergrad at the University of Texas. I was a business major, always planned on doing corporate law work and getting into, kind of the corporate law field, M&A work, mergers and acquisitions. And when I was going to law school, one of my best friends at the time, Jamal Charles, was going to the NFL. So he was training out in California for the Combine. And I went out there to visit him while he was training for the Combine and, met his agent, Andrew Kessler, and he offered me an internship that summer before I started law school. So I took him up on that since I didn't have much going on that summer before law school. And I kind of just fell into it from there, to be honest with you. Just, one of those things where you're at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, we'll say you fell into it if that's what you want to say. But it sounds like you were definitely prepared because you had your law degree. And I think that a lot of people don't know you need either a secondary degree or you need to have played in the NFL to be able to be in that position. But, all right, you get that. How do you start building the roster that you build in terms of clients? Because there's lots of guys you can't even get meetings with guys you got, and you almost immediately, when you got to the league, I feel like every guy you got ended up being a top-tier talent. How does that happen?
Man, again, a lot of that is just God, right? I couldn't have planned it any better. And if I did it 10 more times, it probably wouldn't have worked out the way it worked out for me. So,
yeah, you'd have fucked that hoe up if you did it 10 more times, but I'm going to let you keep going.
It probably wouldn't have worked out the same for sure. But now I tell people that all the time. They're like, man, how did it work out for you? Why are you in the position you're in? And, man, honestly, I just, again, man, just like my journey into being a sports agent, it was, kind of just being in the right place. And, my first client was Earl Thomas, who played obviously at the University of Texas and went on to be what I believe should be a Hall of Famer who played for the Seahawks. But I met Earl through my little brother. They were good friends, and Earl's had some stuff going on here at the University of Texas where I went to undergrad, and I was still here in Austin at the time, right before I went to law school. And, he had some trouble with, some school stuff, wasn't really focused on school because he came here to play, and they redshirted him his freshman year. And, we kind of got on a couple calls and met up, and, I kind of told him, and I look back at it now, and I couldn't have been more wrong, but I told him, look, man, you probably should be focused on school and not this football thing. This football thing doesn't seem like it's for you. You know what I mean? They're redshirting you behind two guys that are probably never played in the NFL. And, at UT, they weren't really, redshirting skill position guys at the time. So he was a 5'9", 165-pound kid at the time. So, me with all my knowledge and scouting ability told him he should probably stop focusing on football and focus on school. So that summer, he brought his GPA up. I mean, Earl's a real smart dude, got a 3.5 and a 3.75. His 2 summer sessions brought his GPA up. They cleared him to play football, and he kind of took off from there. And he knew what I was trying to do at the time. And, he knew the relationship was genuine and didn't have anything to do with football, so I told him to quit football. So when the time came, he told me, look, man, wherever you're going, I'm going to sign with you because, you were there for me kind of when I didn't, when things weren't going my way. So, again, man, just one of those situations, right place, right time. We already had a relationship, and Earl was, allowed me to kind of start my career with him. And after that, signed a bunch of guys from here from the University of Texas, Kenny Vaccaro, Marquise Goodwin, Alex Okafor. And, that was probably my next crop of guys was them, Keena Robinson. And then kind of just expanded out there, got Landon Collins from Alabama, Clinton Dix, Kelechi Osemele from Iowa State. And like you said, I was lucky that, the guys that I worked with just happened to pan out year after year after year. Every guy played extremely well. They got to their second contracts. And, the one thing that I say has probably been the most beneficial for me is the guys that I've surrounded myself with, the guys that are my clients, the guys that I call my brothers. They want me to be successful just as bad as I want them to be successful. And they don't look at it as a, kind of transactional relationship between us. So having those guys pushing for you to be successful, I think, that's probably been the main reason I've been successful.
Yeah, one of the unique things about all the guys that you work with, and this is the things you do is, and I think that this is kind of what's allowed me to be successful in the quarterback space. Same with you as agent space, is that guys know you care about them as a person, and then that kind of correlates to them wanting to look out for you and make sure you're successful in everything you do. And you also do something weird, and you're the only agent I've ever met who does this. You watch every game of all your clients. Can you still do that with like 45 guys on your roster?
Yeah, man, I got to, man. I obviously, if it's a team where I only got guys on one side of the ball, I can kind of fast forward through the game. It just takes me a lot longer now, and I get yelled at a lot more by the wife. But yeah, man, I still do it, man. So I might not get to the games till Wednesday, Thursday. By the time I get to them, yeah, man, I watch every snap of every player that plays. Just at the end of the day, they're putting in the work, so I want to make sure that I'm doing the same on my end. Making sure that I'm, when we do get on the phone, I can talk to them about how they played. Now, again, I'm not breaking X's and O's down, like you would for a quarterback or, a guy that's a scout or somebody would. But I still want to be, I want to know, hey, if you're a receiver, how many balls you caught, how'd you catch them, what was the down and distance, at what point in the game did you catch them, and so forth, right? Who was covering you? So I try to be as detailed as I can when I have these conversations with my guys. So, yeah, I try to, I watch
you
every
also want
game.
to be able to make sure you can talk shit. That's what you're not including. I said you want to make sure you can talk shit at the appropriate moment. Because
for sure. You got to keep those in your back pocket. I screenshot all the time. So if somebody gets a little out of pocket, I got a video I can send to the group chat. So definitely, I definitely use that as well.
I will tell everybody right now, David has a lot of screenshots of a lot of things that people have said, and he's ready to use these screenshots at any given moment. I won't keep you too much longer, but I want to know: are you like, do you have pictures of owners? Are you beating people up? What has allowed you to get so many of the top contracts? How many at the position top contracts have you had? I feel like it's a lot right now. I know you had guard, cornerback, quarterback. What else you got? How many of
Uh,
those we got?
I think I've had 11. Last time I counted, I think it was 11 guys that I've been lucky enough to work with that became the highest paid player in the history of the NFL at their position. So I believe the number is 11 the last time I checked. And man, honestly, I think what it is just it goes back to the relationship, right? When you're dealing with teams, and one thing that teams are going to do, at the end of the day, is they're going to look out for what's best for the team. So if they feel like they can come in between you and your client or start to sow seeds of doubt in between you and your client, they take advantage of that. So I think teams understand that if, once we come to them with an offer, what we believe is fair, that myself and the player are on the same page, and there's not going to be any sowing of doubt or, getting guys to fold. We're going to get what we believe is fair. If the team owes us, owes a guy $10, we're not going to take $9.99, right? We're going to get every bit of that 10, and we'll get more if we're able to. So I think that's the biggest part. Again, it goes back to the relationship, which is the basis of all this. If you have the right relationship with your guys, and they fully believe in you, and that you're going to do what's best for them, I think that that definitely helps everybody.
Yeah, you ain't taking no discounts, I'll tell you that. And I just want to ask about Pros Week. Pros Week started off as a DB's week, right?
It did, man. That was back in like 2017, I believe.
How did it? What made you decide, like, let me do this for all of my guys? Because it seems like a lot of work that you end up putting into this event.
Yeah.
And Pros Week, for everybody doesn't know, is David gets all of his clients to come out to Austin. And how many guys was it this year, Dave?
Man, we had about 63, 64 guys, I believe, out there this year in totality, between all our NFL guys and a few other guys that came out for it and drove up for it. So it's probably our biggest pros week yet. But yeah, man, it started off as DB week, and we did that for 2 years, and then I started getting my other guys that are like, hey, we'd like to come to that too. And obviously, my goal was never to kind of create something different for the DBs. It just happened to work out that way. And as the family continued to grow, and we got more guys at different positions, we were able to turn it into pros week or elite week, as some people call it. And it's a time where all the guys get together. They get the young guys get to meet the older guys. They develop those those kind of mentorship, their mentor relationships, and then guys get to work out together, kind of push each other. And a big thing for us is seeing guys come back year after year, where you got a guy like Javon Holland, who, he comes there this year and he sees, we represent all 4 starting safeties in the Pro Bowl, Derwin James, Quandre Diggs, Buda Baker, Kevin Byard, they're all there. And he's there, talking to us about, hey, I'm going to take one of y'all spot next year, and it's just that friendly competition. But, if you're there with, 15, 20 Pro Bowlers, you don't want to be the guy next year that comes back that didn't make the Pro Bowl, right, or didn't play well. So I think it just holds people, accountable to make sure that they're doing their part. So when they come back, they're representing the family well. So I think that's dope. And then just getting the guys together to kind of, take a load off. There's a lot of events we do off the field or outside of the weight room where guys get to know each other on a personal level. They get to know each other's families and so forth. So it turned out to be a really good event that's evolved very well. And at the end of the day, another reason we decided to do it, we raised a lot of money for charity. My wife and I started a charity back in 2017, the Fair Catch Foundation. So it helps serve the underprivileged here in the city of Austin. So, there's obviously that component to it as well. So, man, we're super proud of Pros Week, and we're hoping it's going to continue to grow. And we appreciate, top elite coaches like yourself coming out and working with the guys during the week.
Oh, yeah, Dave's not really going to pop his shit like he should, but this is the biggest collection of talent, of football talent anywhere in the world other than the Pro Bowl. There's not an NFL team that can compete with the guys who are there at Pros Week, so he's put together quite the collection of talent. But before I let you go, is there anything you want to let the people know about the things that you're doing, or what's next for you in terms of continue to grow what you built, which is wildly impressive?
No, I mean, our goal is to, like you said, man, just continue to build this out. I like watching guys go from, student athletes to obviously professional athletes, but then grow into, entrepreneurs and businessmen and, guys that are sitting on boards of different companies and so forth. So that's kind of the cool thing for us now is instead of taking a lot of these what have been traditional endorsement deals, we're focused on more equity partnerships and guys getting really involved in decision-making for companies. So I think, with the platform that's given to athletes now, it's a lot different than it used to be. So I think if guys, are smart and they take advantage of the relationships and the network that they're able to create as professional athletes, you're talking about guys that can walk away from the game as billionaires. You're starting to see it now with guys like LeBron and other guys like that. So if guys really take advantage of the platform that they've been given, even outside of just the monetary gain that they get from playing the game of football, the other opportunities out there, I mean, we could create a lot of African American wealth out here, off the fields. So that's something I'm really looking forward to helping guys build and continue to build out.
Well, after you build a couple of billionaires, let me hold $1. And then somebody
I
asked
got
me,
kids, man. I got kids. I'm broke.
what is the difference between guaranteed money in a contract and guarantees? Like I keep seeing that today. I heard a couple of people ask about it. What is that difference there?
So in the NFL, unlike what you find in the NBA or Major League Baseball, even, if you sign a contract, man, if it's a 5-year, $100 million deal in baseball or basketball, most of the time that entire $100 million is guaranteed. And football is quite different. There's 3 different types of guarantees: skill guarantee, injury guarantee, and cap guarantee. And unless you have all 3 of those, then you don't have a fully guaranteed contract. You need all 3 for it to be fully guaranteed. Because if you only have an injury guarantee, obviously you can still be cut for skill or cap purposes. Skill means that, a team doesn't think you're good enough anymore, so they can get rid of you. Cap purposes, cap purposes means that they can get rid of you. They need more money under their salary cap. So that's another easy way to get rid of you. And then injury is pretty self-explanatory. If you get hurt, they can get rid of you, right? So unless you have all 3 of those guarantees, your money's not safe. So if you see a contract that says it's $100 million in guarantees, it might just have one of those guarantees, but a team can still get rid of you. Now, that's totally different than if it says you have $100 million in fully guaranteed money. That means no matter what, you're going to earn that $100 million.
All right. And the last question is, you just did something special with the Watson contract. Do you think that that's going to take and other NFL quarterbacks are going to make sure they get fully guaranteed? And this is opinion. We know you don't know. Or do you think it's going to be back to status quo?
If I have anything to do with it, the goal is to keep that precedent going, right?
We know what you're going to do, but everybody's not represented by you.
Yeah. I can't speak on everybody else. I think the only way that it becomes prevalent in other positions or other positions are able to get fully guaranteed contracts is going to be if the quarterbacks kind of hold their ground and. I'm sorry, cut out there. It's going to be if quarterbacks all hold their ground and say we want fully guaranteed contracts, and it's no longer a situation where teams can say, "Hey, we don't do that," or "That's not something we do in the NFL since it's been done." You would hope that quarterbacks do that, and but at the end of the day, like I said, it's not totally up to us, and we'll continue to fight for guaranteed contracts for our quarterbacks, and hopefully that trickles down to other positions. So, hopefully not too far in the future, we can get, no matter what position you're at, you can get yourself a fully guaranteed contract.
That's a bet. Well, I appreciate you hopping on with me tonight. I know, tell the boys I said what up, and I will be seeing you soon.
All right. No, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you like always. And if you ever need anything, obviously I'm here.
That's a bet.
All right. Have a good one, boss.
You too. That was NFL super agent David Mulugheta. I really appreciate him coming on. I'm going to give you one more Jay-Z song. Then I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to ask me questions that you may want answers. I'll make sure that I shoot David a text, and he'll be able to get you the answers to any of those questions that you may have. That was a little bit of Jay-Z. I'm going to invite some callers. I'm giving you guys the opportunity. All you got to hit is the button that says request to call in. You can ask me anything you want. We can talk about some of the things from David's portion of the interview. I try to invite you guys on there, but you know what I'm saying. You guys might not want to talk to me, might not want to throw off the vibe, but you guys have the opportunity to jump in here, ask me anything you want in terms of what was going on in that interview, or anything that I may know in terms of like pros or anything else. But I do want to jump right into the NIL deal, right? And I want to talk about NIL deal because Kirby Smart just signed the richest contract that we know of in all of college football. The reason I said that we know of is because there's a guy out in California. His name is Lincoln Riley, head coach of the University of Southern California. He could have signed the biggest contract ever, but we'll never have any idea because USC is a private school. They do a tremendous job of not allowing anybody to know exactly what the nature of their contract is. And also, Lincoln Riley negotiated his contract to be the head coach with one sole donor. That means one donor, one booster said, hey, I want you, Lincoln Riley, to be the head coach over here at USC. You tell me what you want. And they worked up their contract all by themselves. So could it be more than Kirby Smart still? Maybe. I assume that it is. He's got the house. He's got all the cars. He's got a bunch of travel built in his contract. So there's a lot of things that he has that a lot of people don't. But I want to talk about Kirby. He's getting 11 points, some ridiculous amount of number, over 10 years, and he just said that he doesn't think that guys getting NIL deals should be able to get paid with that play, which makes me a little frustrated because guys like that, it bothers me that guys can get paid that much money and think that there's any inequity in terms of young guys or college student athletes being paid what they deserve and what they're worth. So seeing that is something that truly and honestly bothers me. But I want to give you guys one more opportunity to hop in, call in, talk to me on the queue with Quincy Avery. We just had a phenomenal guest, Dave Mulugheta, super agent in the NFL. Give you guys a little opportunity. Hit that invite call button. You guys there, you with me. A lot of guys hopped on tonight. Not a lot of questions. I'm going to give you guys this rest of that rulers, but all the I have you good people tonight. I appreciate y'all hopping on. Hope that you guys learned something. Next week, we're going to have another phenomenal guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is just yet, but they will be hopping in the NFL camp. You guys can, as always, shoot me a couple questions during the week. I'll make sure I'm asking them, and we'll get that done. You guys have a blessed night. Happy Thursday. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.